Okay, why did I make this film? I made this film because when I acquired this information, these tapes, I felt that there was a historical significance to them, unlike anything that I've ever known before. The collection was so rare and unique, at least in the United States. It was also a period of time that I feel is somewhat misunderstood about American society. Um, it was the cusp of the sexual revolution, and we associate that sexual revolution so much with the youth of that time. The couple who were involved in recording these tapes were a generation older than that. And I felt there was a lot of myths that could be dispelled just by listening to the words and voices, and the anguish, and the ecstasy, really, that this couple were engaged in. And I wanted to share it. I felt compelled to share it. I felt like I was listening to something that other people should know existed. That's why I made the film. I wasn't at all concerned really about being able to keep their identities anonymous, and felt from the very beginning that I would be able to do that and make a film more about a, a generation that lived at that time. And it would be much more about it wasn't just about Tom and Jeannie. It was about a bigger segment of society, and I think also because of the historical significance of the audio tapes, I really didn't question that they should be shared and they should be heard by others. Um, and the challenges about that were something that I welcomed. I mean, I felt that I had this kind of incredible ability to be, um, I could be more free. I was more liberated by the fact that I was only using audio tape of them, and that I could feel free to sort of invent not only somewhat of the narrative, but invent the visual. Invent the sort of visual experiential space that I would take the listener viewer into. Um, and in answer to the third question, why I'm a filmmaker, I do refer to myself as a filmmaker, although um, I don't. I think that's just a label that I use because people want to know, who I am. I'm a self-taught filmmaker. I wasn't always a filmmaker. It's something I started to do in my 30s. And I am not even certain that I would call this particular piece a film. I think it's more of a kind of a sound and visual collage. And initially, I thought that I would make the entire piece without images at all, which I hope in the future to do that version. So am I a filmmaker? I suppose I am. This is a single channel piece. It has a beginning, a middle, and end. You look at a screen. Although I think for the listener viewer, when you're looking at that screen and you're sitting in a theater, you're engaged in a way that films sometimes are limited in being able to do. I feel like this particular film, because of its compelling audio and the restraint of the images, is actually something that makes you question, where does the film begin and where does it end?